Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Will Richards.
I'm Sarah Topper.
We're here today on World Mental Health Day at Renew.
Yes, we're going to be chatting to Nikki and find out all about the services they offer here in Chelmsford.
Let's get into it.
The Chelmsford For You podcast with Will and Sarah, an exclusive look into all things Chelmsford.
We're here now at Renew on Legg Street with Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good stuff. We're here on World Mental Health Day at Renew on Legg Street in Chelmsford to chat to Nikki about the wonderful things that you do. So let's start things off with where you are. I've just said Legg Street, but exactly where you are and what it is you're doing for people.
Well, we're at the top of Legg Street, aren't we? Yeah. In a building called Sadler's House, right. And we provide counselling and training. And our counselling service is accessible for children, young people and adults, of course. So we see quite a few adults here for one-to-one counselling or for couples counselling, whatever they want.
Right, okay. Now there's many different topics, reasons, should we say, that people might want to get in touch and have a chat with you. Mm-hmm. So rather than covering those, because everybody knows their own issues if they want to get in touch, what is the best process for somebody to reach out? Is it ring the buzzer downstairs? Is it to go on the website? What is the best way for people to come and see you?
Well, we're actually an open access service, so people come to us any way that suits them. You can go on the website, you can inquire via email, you can text in, you can call in. That's absolutely fine. We know that first step can be quite a tough one. Lots of people don't think that what they're struggling with is important. So we know that phone call or that text or that email can be quite a challenge. But we're prepared. We're prepared at this end. So they'd call in, they'd make an appointment to come in for an initial meeting where you get to sit down and talk about maybe what's troubling you, what you'd like to be different, and perhaps anything else that you think is important. And within that meeting, you get an idea of how it feels to sit in a counselling room if you haven't had it before, or you could have a chance to ask any questions you might want to ask. And we're quite a large agency, so we deliver about 16,000 sessions a year.
Wow.
Across our 3 centres, and we're also in schools. So we have a wide range of counsellors, so you could come in yourself, Will, and say, I don't know, you wanted to talk about your relationship with your dad. I'm just picking that up.
He just called me before we started this. That's why this happened.
And you might say, I think I'd want to see a male counsellor. You might say, I don't really want any homework or anything like that. And so that's what we would consider then when we allocate you a counsellor and you would come to see us.
Right. So it's all kind of bespoke to each individual.
Absolutely.
Rather than here's a 6-week, this is what we do.
Yeah, we believe everybody is an individual. Everybody has their own experience of their own mental health. Yes. I feel reluctant even saying mental health to you because there's so much stigma around mental health for people. And counselling and psychotherapy isn't an indication that there's something wrong with you. It's actually an indication of something right with you because you're troubled by something, so you're going to do something about it. Yeah. And that's what it is. So I'm very reluctant to use some language because I do think that people do think, well, if they're getting counselling.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that because I think, again, like you said, there is a stigma around quite a few words and terms in this industry, if you like, and in this sort of field. So people, the word therapy, it seems some people in society see it as weak. And you need therapy, you've been to therapy, and it's not really the right word for this.
No.
I foresee it should be used as something like just having a chat.
I think it's quite a British thing though, right? Whereas there's other countries in the world where everyone goes to
it's a
therapy or counselling, and actually it's part of who you are and how you progress in life and just having that extra support. So I'm a massive advocate for counselling and services like that. And
absolutely, it's a very unique and powerful experience. And it's interesting you said, it should be called just having a chat. It's not having a chat, if you like, in a way. It is talking, it is communicating, it's talking about things that are troubling you that you perhaps wouldn't say to somebody else, but to a person who is trained to listen in a very particular way and to walk with you rather than tell you what to do. That's not what we do here at all. And the power of speaking out something that's troubling you, that's been rattling around in your head, perhaps for years, it's so transformative and unique. I can't even describe it. It gives me goosebumps to think about it. You know, hearing yourself speaking something that's been really, really troubling you, honestly. But it has to be with somebody who can hear properly. And a lot of the trouble as well is there's lots of different types of counselling. There's lots of individuals who are incredibly well-meaning and will have trained to be a therapist, but perhaps they're not working in a way that's to your benefit. You know, I think the things like buying a house and going to therapy, we're a bit, aren't we, flippant about it? We might go and see a house twice, buy it. We go and see a therapist. We feel, I don't really get on with them. I'm not really gelling here. This doesn't feel right, but I have to go because I don't know. I'm here today
to offend them.
You don't want to offend them. And I am here today to say, if it isn't working for you, if you don't feel connected, move on. There will be somebody out there that works for you and that can work with you in a way that can be hugely beneficial to you.
It's key to remember that yourself and I'm sure your colleagues have all got the best interest of the client at heart.
Absolutely. We're an accredited service, which means that our service is accredited by the British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. They set a very high standard for the care that we provide to our community. Right. All our counsellors are registered as well. We make sure that there's nobody, you know, who's coming in and saying, I'm a counsellor, but they've got no qualifications. They're all properly trained.
So speaking of the counsellors, how many people, is it work here? Is it volunteers? How
it's a combination of a lot of things. We have people who are working here and are paid to work here, and then those that are newly trained will work as students here. They may volunteer for a while and then they get paid work. So we have working out of here about 40 different counsellors. Wow. Yeah.
40?
Yeah.
Wow, blimey. If somebody watching right now, you, has a little niggle in their brain, something they're thinking of, I'm fairly confident I'm right to say there is no issue too small, because that's always going to be the start. It's a snowball, right? And there may be things that are behind something else. What would you say to anybody watching right now considering, well, maybe I should get in touch and have a chat?
I would say if you're feeling maybe I should, it'll do you absolutely no harm to get in touch and have a chat. We can offer up to 2 years of therapy. But you can come, you can have that introduction session. It may be within that you work out, you know, this is all I needed. Or you and the therapist decide between both of you, maybe 6, maybe 8, maybe 12 sessions will work. Well, then that's what you'll get. Often people will say, but it's not that big a deal. But it's actually really, really holding them back.
Yeah.
Or, you know, say I'm trying to think of an example here. I don't know, say things aren't going quite right in your relationship at home and it's dragging you down and you're in work and there is a hell of a lot of pressure on you to get ahead in your job and you've got, you know, bills to pay, all of those things. It starts, like you said, well, it's like a snowball. And sometimes going along and just having a short bout of counselling, for want of a better word, is enough to help you to get perspective, to begin to see the wood for the trees, to work out, oh, maybe if I just do this or if I think that or go there, things will be different.
Just being able to process, isn't it? And having the space to do that rather than constantly feeling the pressures of life. And, you know, it is a tough time at the moment for so many people. So I think, yeah, extra support is a really good thing.
And extra support with somebody who isn't going to give you their 10 cents worth or say to you, I know you hate this, or you don't like that, or why are you doing that? None of that
Which
stuff.
you'll often get with
friends.
The best intentions, of course, but, friends, family can offer you that advice, but that's with their own perspective, isn't it? So
everyone seems to think they know you. Just touching on something you said a minute ago, Sarah, some people are not in the best position at the moment. There's a lot going on, we understand that. So how does the pricing or costing work with you guys?
Well, I think that's what's unique to us in Chelmsford. We are a charity. It costs us currently about £50 to deliver a session.
Yeah.
And we ask people to contribute what they can afford towards that. Obviously, we're feeling the pinch as well. So we're trying to raise money to support being able to do that. But that is our offer. That is our commitment to the community, is pay what you can afford. We do have a bottom line, which I'm not going to say now, because anything below that would break us and we wouldn't be able to go on. And we were founded in 1904 and we want to be around in 2404. That'd be quite nice. So we do seek what you can afford. What you can afford to pay is really important.
So it is accessible for anyone, and there's always that chat that can be had.
Absolutely. And I'm constantly looking for funding and grants so that we do have higher bursaries, so that we can, for people who are, really unable to pay anything, that we can actually offer some sessions that way. But that kind of grants and fund making, that's really hard to find.
you mentioned something a little while ago, I think actually before we started, about you have another couple of centres, but also that you work with schools. Is that right?
That's
How, in what capacity?
Okay, so we are in Brentwood and we are in Basildon as well, and we offer the same services as we do here, there. But we're also in schools, quite a few in Chelmsford actually, and the Basildon area. And we have counsellors who go in and see children and young people within schools. It's not uncommon now. Thank God the government has finally realised that putting emotional support in for children is vital.
Yeah.
We also offer supervision. So we do this for senior leaders in schools, for safeguarding leads and people who have responsibility perhaps more on the emotional well-being side. Or you might have a teacher who's got within their class children with exceptional needs. And supervision is something that we're very used to in counselling. All our client work is supervised by an individual who's clinically trained to oversee and ensure that the counselling is ethical and appropriate. So we offer a thing called professional supervision to people working in different environments, where you unpick the work that you're doing, you celebrate it, you learn, you move forward, but also you think about how it might have impacted on you and what you can do to I suppose, process, to use your words, to process that impact. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And we've obviously discussed how people can get in touch. Is it a case of self-referral? Is it through a GP? How?
If somebody is sitting at their desk having a cup of tea and watching this podcast, they can pick up the phone and call us. They do not need to go through their GP. It may be you go to your GP and your GP recommends counselling and might suggest us. We would always encourage the individual themselves to contact us. Right. We're really hot on confidentiality. We don't disclose any information unless we were court mandated to do that. So, but we strongly recommend you contact yourself. Yeah.
I think it's really good that you're in quite a confidential location as well.
We are.
So
tucked away.
Yeah, they are tucked out the way, Leg Street in Chelmsford. So if ever that's in your mind or something that you want to consider or is a beneficiary to you, to make sure that you aren't seen coming or going or whatever it may be, that's fantastic. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you know the phone number people need to call?
01245 359 353.
Perfect.
There we go.
There you
You'd be
go.
surprised how many people don't know.
Okay, I know it. I'm hoping that's right now. Check on the internet.
We'll pop it down below. Don't worry, it'll be on all the
Thank you.
details below the podcast. I think this kind of leaves us. We can delve in with you for hours, but I think the most important thing is for whoever it is watching right now that might need to give you a call or give you a shout. Just do it. That is as simple as it can be.
Take that first step.
Yeah, and I know it's very cliche. It
Absolutely.
is World Mental Health Day, and there's going to be thousands of different things that are going to be online at the moment. But if you are in Chelmsford, or what are the other two locations?
In Basildon or Brentwood.
Or Brentwood as well, and Basildon. So yeah, get in touch with Nikki, have a chat, pop in, ring the buzzer, give them a call. But I think that's it. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, not at all. Just take care of yourself. Lots of exercise, eating well.
Yeah, it's very key.
Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. I've been Will Richards.
I've been Sarah Tupper.
I've been Nikki Schuster.
We'll catch you on the next one.
The Chelmsford For You podcast with Will and Sarah. Get involved, like, comment and share.